What's going on, everyone? This is Mitch. Good Tuesday morning to you all. Hope you guys are getting up and having a great start to your day. A great week out there so far. I got you a weather update this morning on what's going to potentially unfold today. Another day where I'm not expecting a whole lot of activity, but there's a couple areas we need to mention, including for you folks up there in Wisconsin where there's some severe weather expected this afternoon. So we'll talk a little bit about that. Some areas of the Texas all the way up through the deep south, the southeast, through the mid-Atlantic could just see a little bit of moisture today. But really just the southeast and deep south is kind of a stalled out boundary. It's going to promote some afternoon showers and storms, but not expecting anything severe out of these, just some beneficial rain. So we're going to talk about that, give you a very brief tropical update, and we'll talk a little bit more detailed about that tonight like we did last night. But in general, not expecting anything too crazy out there in the tropics. No significant changes overnight is what I'm trying to say from last night's video, if you tuned into last night's video. If you guys haven't subscribed, definitely consider doing that. Like the video if you like it. Appreciate the ongoing support in these slower times over the last couple months. Your support is certainly appreciated through viewing my content, so I really do appreciate everything and you guys just trusting the process with me as I grow with this channel. So hit me up on social media if you'd like to. I've had to take a break from social media. Social media has been very toxic the last several days. It's just I've definitely haven't been posting quite as much, but definitely hit me up there because when things get much more active, when we actually have a threatening scenario with a tropical system, a winter storm, a severe weather outbreak, it's a great way to tune in with Twitter and Facebook. So hit me up there. If you guys got anything that I can pray about, please put it in the comments below. It gives me an opportunity to pray over it, and it gives others an opportunity to do so too. So let's get rolling this morning. Water vapor loop doesn't really show the picture very well, but there is a kind of a mid-level trough swinging through central to eastern Canada that will actually help, bring in a cold front and actually will provide forcing for some storms, some which could be severe for areas of Wisconsin, the northern Michigan areas, south of Lake Superior. You folks, I got a guy that tunes in from this region daily, just about. So I really appreciate you. You guys could definitely see some storms up there, and then a stalled boundary kind of along this area down here could pop up some storms along the Carolinas, definitely South Carolina, the deep south, but it'll be very isolated and scattered in nature. But in general, kind of a typical I would say summer pattern as things has became a little bit more zonal, meaning it's just not as aggressive as a pattern. Nothing too crazy going on, and just more of a relaxed pattern. Not necessarily a super relaxed pattern, but more of a relaxed pattern for sure. And like you see down here, you have a general risk of just some showers and storms. For the southeast, this includes a very small area of North Carolina, as basically there's more stable air in this white area where no storms are expected, where the trough is pushed through, provided much more drier air, therefore stabilize the atmosphere. But general risk of storms in this light green area. Hopefully you folks see some more rain in Texas today. I had a viewer say that they got, I think they said half inch of rain. I think they said a quarter inch of rain in Austin, Texas yesterday in portions of the city, so that's very beneficial. You guys definitely been getting hit hard by that drought. And then you have a severe risk of storms in Wisconsin today, so that's something we need to talk about, and we will. And then a little bit of severe weather activity in portions of Montana, which is a little bit more uncommon, certainly for any time of the year. But tornado threat, really none with this. But with this threat in Wisconsin, there's certainly a 2% chance of a tornado 25 miles in any given location. So that's something we just need to watch out for today, especially for right in the heart of Wisconsin. So certainly need to watch out for that. Wind damage, just a 15% risk, 25 miles in any given location of winds approaching maybe 55 to 65 miles per hour, which is damaging wind gusts for sure. Hail threat will be there too, so we'll watch out for that also, with a 15% chance of 1 inch or diameter or larger hail within 25 miles of any given location in that region. So we look at I just wanted to show you this, even though there's really no point in showing you this, but this is the National Weather Service watches and warnings. I've been showing this more and more throughout my last several videos over the last several weeks. And it just gives you the idea of how calm things are out there. Things are out there. And not really anything in the entire central to eastern U.S. going on. It's a very quiet pattern, and we've just kind of entered a more just summer-like pattern now. I will not be surprised if later on today we have severe thunderstorm warnings, maybe a severe thunderstorm watch for areas of Wisconsin, but we'll tune in for that for sure. And then the National Hurricane Center has the latest update per 5 a.m. So this came out, about an hour and a half or so ago. And this is still just potential tropical cyclone 2. It's not a named storm yet, but it's somehow expected to be one a little bit later this afternoon. But let me tell you, I would not be surprised if this does not make it a tropical storm today, unless it quickly organizes before land interaction. But it's definitely going to enter a more favorable environment as far as the wind pattern aloft and what's going on in the upper levels of the atmosphere wind-wise. Certainly is going to be a favorable environment for this system, especially if it can track a little bit more north than what this cone is showing. But you got these tropical storm warnings up for the southern Leland Windward Islands down here in the Lesser Antilles. You even got some tropical storm watches up for areas of the northern coastline of South America and up for these islands just north of South America also, which I am not sure the name of those islands. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. But you guys have some tropical storm watches up in these yellow areas. So we'll talk a little bit more about this tonight for sure. But the HRRR model, we'll see how this unfolds today in the southeast. And here we go, just some tropical downpours. These will be slow moving. And I know your eyes are probably down on this right here. This is at what we talked about with this system that could potentially form in the northwest Gulf of Mexico. And we'll talk on that tonight also, which will have a chance to kind of get going, amplify itself, and potentially bring some tropical moisture for Texas. So we'll talk on that tonight. But today, there's going to be a stalled out surface boundary across really South Carolina especially, and even Georgia into Alabama. This will promote tropical showers and storms for sure. You're going to have pop-up downpours. These storms won't produce, a high risk of damaging winds or a tornado risk or a big hail threat, but they will produce a ton of rainfall as precipitation values are nearing 2 inches, which just means that there's a lot of moisture in the atmosphere for these storms to really take advantage of and unload on if they pop up right on top of you. So just know that if you get under one of these storms in South Carolina, especially the southern half of South Carolina, and even into Georgia, Florida, always, Alabama, these can unload a lot of rain very quickly, and they will kind of form and then drift north as basically this front has stalled out and is weakening, and then high pressure is kind of taking a hold here with a flow around high pressure out here. Therefore, you are returning to more of a southerly flow, so it's pushing all moisture back to the north out of the south. So we'll watch this today and see how this unfolds. Northeast, very quiet weather day as the trough is pushed off the coast out into the North Atlantic. All the rain is out into the North Atlantic, so I'm not really expecting any moisture for the Northeast today. If there is, it's just a pop-up shower, maybe a storm. Pretty quiet weather for the Northeast today. My folks down here in the South Central U.S. and Texas, maybe another day of some pop-up showers and storms, but I don't think it'll be quite as widespread as yesterday, but there will be a chance. Some lucky folks will get some more rain, maybe even Austin, Texas again, maybe some rains southeast of Houston, but I think most of this will be confined to South Central Texas, Central Texas, and even Western Texas. You guys could see some beneficial rain, so let's hope so. But then you still have that moisture that just kind of looms off the coast right here, and as we're getting into tomorrow morning, some of this moisture, as we're getting into Wednesday at this point, which I'm kind of giving you a teaser to what we'll talk about tonight, will start to kind of whip into the areas of Texas and Louisiana. So we're hoping for that for sure. The north central U.S., Wisconsin, we'll get a little bit closer look at Wisconsin. Here we go. Some lift will provide some forcing for some storms across Wisconsin and northern Michigan today, later this afternoon. Probably as early this afternoon into the mid part of the afternoon. This will last throughout the evening hours and then kind of congeal in just to a blob of rain that will sag southeast with the cold front moving through. And then as we're getting into bedtime, the evening hours, the overnight hours, this rain will make its way into southern Wisconsin and to areas of the rest of Michigan. So we'll get a closer look at Wisconsin and how this will unfold today. Some of these storms will be intense as we're getting into the middle part of the afternoon. So watch out here in northern Michigan. We'll back this up a little bit. These storms will fire up pretty quickly. Marquette, watch out. These northern areas of Michigan need to watch out for some storms for sure. Green Bay, maybe some shower and storm activity. a little bit later. Large hail is possible, maybe some damaging winds, maybe an isolated tornado threat, especially and mainly for this area back here where you basically have more rich low-level moisture. But even when I say rich, it's still not a ton of moisture to deal with at the surface to provide some oomph for this tornado threat down here. But watch out. If you're in these areas of Wisconsin back over here, these could be more supercellular in nature as far as storm mode. So maybe an isolated tornado threat. Watch out. Maybe Madison, Wisconsin a little bit later this evening. It's certainly possible. Maybe a brief tornado threat. So we'll watch for that for sure. The temperatures today, a pretty nice day across the Northeast. Almost just an early fall day. That's why the Northeast is one of my dream areas to live. Just for the weather and the geographical elements and the fact that they actually have seasons up there is awesome to me. One of my dream states to live is certainly upstate New York and the northern portions of New York State, Vermont, Vermont, New Hampshire, maybe Western Mass. Certainly, I love fall, guys, and they actually get a fall up there. So I would sacrifice the beaches and everything like that to actually get 4 different seasons. But anyways, I'll get off that. But the southeast, pretty warm, pretty humid today, especially south of this boundary where humid air will be, which will be a ton of moisture to fire up some of these showers and storms today. But north of this boundary, which is kind of sagging through here with a kind of weakening cold front, you will have temperatures in the 70s and 80s with much more of a dry air mass and comfortable conditions. Certainly will not feel bad at all out there. A beautiful day expected across the Ohio Valley, the Midwest. And then obviously you get up into Wisconsin and northern Michigan where you will have that storm threat. So the tropical update here, not a whole lot to talk about because not a whole lot's changed over the last 48 hours. But we'll continue to watch this system right here as we get into the weekend. We have a brief opportunity to, I love when the computer does this. We'll have a brief opportunity to make its way to tropical storm status and hurricane status as we get into the weekend. And then we're watching this wave right here, which will provide a lot of moisture for the northern section of the Lesser Antilles, and then make its way into Puerto Rico and then the Dominican Republic, Haiti, things like that, and try to bring some tropical moisture for you folks as we get close to the 4th of July, things like that. So there's nothing to worry about with this system, just some tropical moisture. You basically will see down there that your forecasted precipitation will increase dramatically, but you guys already see kind of daily showers and storms down there. It will just be more enhanced daily showers and storms with some gustier conditions. So that's all I got, guys. Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate the support, and I'll talk to you guys this evening. God bless.